Okay, great. So we will get into a PowerPoint now, but Greta, in terms of how neat it is where the nines and everything fits into the grid. Someone I teach, this same class to 3 different groups in the week. So I always get great feedback. So, but the first one was in person. So there was no video problem. And someone asked, is 440 tuning actually more harmonic or something like that? And I was like, I don't think so, because of the factor 9 grid. Like that all just fits together so harmonically. And when it's 440, there's simply no there's no correlation. So I trust the geometry on that one. I trust the math. So let's look at a couple of really cool things. I think Leanne popped on and left, so I know she can get here. I'm gonna have to do some testing now about my slideshows. Okay, so Tesla is quoted with, if you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have the keys to the universe. We also attribute him with that, if you understood frequency, vibration, and energy, then you've got the keys to the universe. So we know he was on it. But this sequence of numbers, I'm just beginning to tap the power of 3, 6, and 9, literally. But if you also learn about 1, 4, and 7, and 2, 5, and 8, right? So if you look at there being 3 triangles, right, you can see the red one is 3, 6, and 9. You can see there's a faint blue one that is 1, 7, and 4. And then you can see the green one that is 8, 2, and 5. And on the bottom, you can see down here, right, if the 1, 4, and 7 adds up to 12, 2, 5, and 8 adds up to 15, and 3, 6, and 9 adds up to 18, which reduces to 9. So 12 reduces to 3, 15 reduces to 6, and 18 reduces to 9. And these fascinating number sequences happen again and again and again. And it just starts to get really exciting the more you look into it. But then there's the construct of time that we looked at last week, right? So just on and on. You've got 86,400 seconds in a day, which breaks down to 9. 3,600 seconds in an hour breaks down to 9. Seconds in the week, minutes in the day, minutes in the week, years, and on. It's all going to come down to 9. And again, if you look at the fundamental sequences, and that it's more than likely going to come down to 9 in some way that has to do with the structure of, how we interpret reality on some level. That's a big statement, but that's part of what the geometry boils down to, is a number sequence that is harmonic and related and predictable and very curious. Here's the factor 9 grid, right? So these are all of the musical tones. They are all within 9. Is it 9? It's not 9 chords. I don't know how to say that part. They are related to each other through like divisions of 9, multiplications of 9, and all of the numbers definitely add up to 9. But then they also exist within this grid, this harmonic grid, and then to know that there's geometries behind all of this, and that's a bummer that you couldn't hear them, but that 360 is the geometry of, is it the cube, and that 720 is the icosahedron. And I mean, it's just to know that there's geometric structure to the numbers as well. It's just like layer after layer. And we saw that 2-dimensional geometry, 3-dimensional geometry, and sacred geometry fit into this grid. So it's really an in-depth study to sit for a minute with the music of geometry. And this is it's kind of hard to see, but this is a grid that shows that sort of lack of harmony, right? On the 432 grid, everything correlates to 9. On the 440, this is what I was talking about, how it just doesn't match up. There's only one number that results in 9, right? There's only one tone. Wow. So overtones, harmonics, I think it's just really worth looking into. And this is really just scratching the surface, right? I think we talked about 432 and 440 in the other class when cymatics, so frequencies really, really important. And if anything, from these 8 classes, just beginning to connect with the fact that geometry makes the invisible frequency world visible. And so tuning into frequency, either through math or geometry, or I guess cymatics would be the combination of that, tuning into how much frequency influences us, how powerful it is, how, if we are in a coherent state, what our frequency is versus, ease and dizzies. And it's just such a useful tool for harmonizing our whole system, right? I mean, if you, there's Royal Rife technology, pulse electromagnetic frequencies. I had an amazing experience putting pulse nodes on my body to heal something. And it was just like, healing with frequency is sort of the way of the future, right? Scalar technology, photonic light waves. We've got all this stuff here in Sedona. I go and meditate with a biocharger, which is Tesla scalar technology. Frequency, we've been cut off from it, right? It's really powerful stuff. So whether it's, through any of the avenues, any of the classes, any of the geometries, hopefully that's permeating our psyche, that frequency is so powerful and we can harness it. Okay, what else do we have before we get into drawing? This is the video, but I don't want it to be slow. I'll play it anyway, and then I'll send it as a link, but we'll just give it a try. Basically, it's showing you that every single division, you can either divide or add by 360, and you're either going to create a vortex and a portal that reduces inwardly on a quantum scale or outwardly on a cosmological scale. So we'll give it a try. It's literally like a minute video. So anyway, we'll try. There's no audio to this one. Is it coming up that you're seeing how the space is dividing itself? Okay, because that's all we're doing. It's just space divides itself by a pattern of 9 sequencing, right? And so you can just go infinitely into this sort of black hole of empty space. Yeah. This part's pretty blurry and fast anyway, so I don't know if it's coming through. So there's this sort of existential study about 9 meaning kind of everything and nothing at the same time, right? Like sum of all of digits excluding 9, what is it, 36? And then 9 plus any digit. returns it to 9, right? Or 0. Oh God. Okay. It's a great day today. All right. So I'm going to pause that. Just see what were you guys able to, how did that come through? Did it come through at all?
It came through. It is always mind-boggling. Coincidentally, my 9-year-old is tuned into this nines math too, the patterns, and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing to think about. I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain it. I know you have some videos that explain it, or at least talk about it, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. This is just a glimpse. Yeah. Greta, were you going to suggest something?
No, I mean, it was just amazing to watch it and just to think about how it just goes and how it got figured out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what happens if we work with it more, and why was it, what does he say in the video? He's like, how is this not common knowledge? Well, there's a reason. So if you bring it back into common knowledge, you start to gain some mastery over the matrix, so to speak. I think that's it. Let's get into drawing. This one is fun because there was a crop circle that I drew with the class a couple weeks ago, and it was just a series of beautiful synchronicities that involved the number 9 that actually involved the number 18. And I saw this crop circle and I was like, I know how to draw that. I can divide by 9, and I can then divide by 18. And it involves the flower of life, which is what we're going to do today. And I straight shortcut it and broke out the protractor, and it was so empty. It's like to do it that way, I was just like, oh God, where's the yum, So we're going to find 9 by going through the flower of life, right? So flower of life is a 6-sided geometry. We're going to break it down into 9 sides, and then we'll get into the nonagon. We'll draw those stars, right? This is going to be back to polygons. It's going to be the nonagon, the boundaries, and then 2 nonograms. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's get into it. I'm going to pop out of that. And then come on into this. So we're just doing the basic flower, but the measurements that we want are just like we usually do. I think is it 3/4? Let's see. So let's do an inch width on your compass, and then measuring to the center of the page on the, we're doing landscape orientation. So on the vertical, that's the only one we need to stay, measure is 5.5 inches to the center of your page. Centered on the horizontal is fine. An inch measurement on your radius, and we're just jumping right into it. So inch radius starting at the center of the page. Anything else I'm forgetting? Nope, we're just jumping into the seed of life. And while you're doing that, I will chat. So so we've got the seed of life, and then you remember it might have been a while once you get the seeds, really just because it's the same series of circles again and again. I recommend once you've got your seed drawn, because it's good to sort, you've all seen it's building it's clockwise. We do that with the seed, but it's so good to do that with the flower as well, every layer that you build onto it. So in order to do that, I recommend starting the second layer down at the bottom where the first the first divot is, and that kind of keeps you in the clockwise motion, because that second round is it's easy to get tripped up. So that helps you stay in that clockwise motion for the for all of the flower of life, but we're just doing these 2 rounds for today. And so one of the things, I mean, it's been a little while since I've been practicing and working with it, and we could say this is like, part of the mystery of the 9 as well, is that when I went to England, I think I've mentioned that I got to, have we started this class when I went to England? I don't think so. I went, and there was a crop circle that was made the day that I got there, which was very exciting. And I got to sit in it the next day. And it is a ninefold geometry, right? So it had an outer ring of 9 circles, a middle ring of 9 circles, and then a center ring of 9 circles. So it was a ninefold. It was 3 and 6 and 9, right? And so so I sat in it, and then I was like, I know how to draw this. And the crop circle that I got to sit in is based in the flower of life, just like we're doing. So 6-sided geometry. It had 3 rings of 9, which is 27, which reduces to 8 to 9 again. And so point being, the more you work with the geometry, the more you draw it, the more, I've been saying, the more sort of like neural pathway openings, right? The more perceptual capacity, where you start to see the patterns, you see the geometry in places where you otherwise wouldn't have. And that's the whole point of all of this 8 weeks, is because, if everything's geometry, it starts to open up our ability to see in new ways. And indeed, there are advanced civilizations that talk about how studying sacred geometry and crop circles, as a matter of fact, are the way to enhance your and activate your ability with telepathy. And it's how to bring your brain online to the perceptual ability to interpret the subtle realms, right? The subtle energetic thought blocks that require accessing parts of our brains that are turned off. All right, everybody's busting out the flower of life, looking good. How's it feeling? It's all so much more natural, isn't it, than it was when you started? A little bit, maybe.
Honestly, can you show it? Because
Yes.
I've gotten so far away from it. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yep, sorry about that.
I might have screwed it up again.
What do you want to?
No, just let me take
Yeah, I bet you haven't.
I'm just going around,
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Just keep going until you get back to the bottom. That's why starting at the bottom is great also, because if you stop and look at it, it'll look wrong. So just keep going.
That is a definite. Oh,
It's
and then I keep ending up in the same thing.
Strange aspect of this design for sure. Greta, were you gonna hop in there? Looked like you were for a second.
I ended up having to switch out my compass because the point wasn't down far enough. So then, I'm drawing it, but my measurements, it's not my usual standard, shall we say?
Yeah. The compasses, it is a new way. It's definitely a new utensil, and it can fail us at times. All right. Leanne, I saw you were hanging in there for the video, which, God, I'm just so sad about the playback quality. Did it jog any memories about 2160 and the rabbit hole that is the number 9, since you watched the whole video?
No, but it really, really gives you something to think about, though. I would have enjoyed to hear the tones again, but yeah, I know.
Was it like that last time? Do you remember that last time?
I don't think so.
I know this is a weird
I think
thing
we had
because,
tones.
yeah, somebody in the last 8 years, well, it hasn't been on the computer that long, would have told me this. So I'm just kind of.
No, because there was at one point I heard one tone.
Yeah.
At one point, and then the rest, and I tried adjusting the volume, and so
yeah. Okay, but genuinely, you don't remember that from the other time that you would have seen it? You heard the tones before? What? Oh, you're muted.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Gosh, I wonder what's happened.
I'm sure of it.
Okay, we'll have to figure that out, if it's even possible to figure it out. But Joni, I appreciate you alerting me. Honestly, I feel like something happened to my computer in the last month that I just started having that glitch. But I'm not going to take up this class talking about that anymore. How's everybody doing? You coming along with the All right,
Did
hang
I
on.
get it? Like, I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm breaking it.
Hang on a second. Let me spotlight you.
That it?
No, you've got
Am
it.
I
Yep, it's perfect.
off? Okay.
Yep,
I mean,
perfect.
there is some discrepancy there, but
Okay.
it's okay. It's close.
All right, perfect. That we have to have discrepancies, otherwise life is weird. All right, everybody have that. Let me see, Joni. It looks small though. Let me see what you got. What your size wise? Oh no, we'll get it done. Okay, great. Look, Rico, and Leanne, are you still? Is everybody still working on it? We've got. Okay, hang on. I can't quite see. Let me spotlight you, Rico.
I was gonna say,
Okay. Now you've broken the you've broken the clockwise law.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
let
yeah.
me see one more time what you've got, and then we won't be far.
I tried this way because when I started, I'm assuming, yeah. When I
No, I
started,
can see it. Yeah.
when I started, somehow this is not totally lined, and it's really started bothering me, so I started to redo it. So
Okay.
somehow I don't know why, but it is not. It started getting slightly tilt. So
mhm.
I
Do you have one on a tracing paper that we could use? Because I can't.
Yeah.
The way you did it, I can't get you out.
That's great. It's much better. I have it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, Leanne, you've got it all set. Hang on, let me spotlight you. I love seeing them so much. Brilliant. All right, wait, I think you did one extra. No, yeah, wait. Wait, don't move. I mean, you've got what we need, but it looks like you just kept having a party.
okay, as long as I
Yeah.
have,
Yep,
what
you've
we
got what
need.
you need.
That's
It'll
all
just
that
take it.
matters.
You've exactly got it. And then Greta, are
Okay.
you set? You got it? You're muted though, so if I can't hear you if you're.
I'm just redoing it and I'm almost done. It was just too off.
Okay, all right. So so keep going for it, then I'll leave the next instruction up. So Leanne, just isolate the circle, the seed, and then a solid another round, because I think what you have is an extra branch. You have an extra kind of half round up top. So just isolate your a center circle, because you have two different choices there: a center circle, a seed, and then the second round of it. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a circle around that, right? So it's gonna look like you're going to open your compass, right? So opening your compass from the center point, like putting your compass point in the center, opening it to the outer perimeter, like opening that width, which would end up being 3 inches wide, and then tapping it, right? And we did this when we did the flower of life, right? Just tapping it to open into making a circle around it. And don't look at the alphabets yet, but you're gonna give it an enclosure, right? We did that when we did that with the flower of life. So and then anything outside of that enclosure, yeah, don't look at the alphabet yet. So Leanne, anything outside of the circle, you're going to want to erase, because it'll make your stars look bad. All right. Yeah. But you're able to get the circle and this shape out of, yeah, great. Okay. Greta, how's it going? Oh, muted. I know. Silly. All right. Okay. So Joni, you've got it with a circle. And then don't worry, I'm going to talk through the alphabet real quick. All right. Rieko, you've got
Yeah.
it? Okay. You've got,
how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
okay. So once
Is
you've
this?
got,
I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. Let me see.
Is it
Hang on. Let me spotlight you.
4?
Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah. Just so open your compass, the width, I think it's 3 inches. From putting your compass at the center point. Sorry, I don't usually I have that open compass step.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just give it a circle. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you can kind of tap around to see that it taps all 6 sides, but you know, there's a lot of room for imperfection in here. What's that? Yes. Okay, great. All right. If we've all got that circle, then we're going to put some letters in here and put them nice and light. Oh God, I know this one is the light one. Just, it's really terrible to erase this one, but we are going to end up erasing everything. I apologize. So nice and light. Just forgot to say that for this one. On the letters. So the center point is going to be A, and then the next petal up is going to be D over here on the diagonal left, and then the diagonal right at the tip, you know, this next circle is going to be E. That center is going to be E, and then at the bottom petal of the inner circle is going to be F. And then out here at this left, you know, bottom left intersection of a divot down here, that's B. Bottom right version of that is C, and then the top points of that is G. So we're using the petals. They're showing us where these points are, and that's going to help us divide. Okay. All right. Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we got it. Okay.
So you have C between E and F, you have B between D and F, and then you have G between D and E.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I had two of them backwards. Okay, thanks.
There is no logical progression to how I put the letters here. It makes no sense, I think, if you look at it. Made sense to me. Because you start with the outers and then you build in, but you know, at this point it's all sequenced that way for now, and we can get it together. So everybody got the letters?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, looks good. So now we're gonna bisect, right? We're going to bisect down the vertical through G and stopping at A. And then on the two diagonal bottom segments of the circle, we're going to go from A down to C using the petals. It's nice, the petals give us the guidelines. And then A down through B, and you extend it all the way to the boundary of the circle. So we've now, we've got our 6-sided geometry. We've cut it into 3 sides, 3 pieces, and now we're going to cut it into 9. And you would normally say, how do you get a 9-fold geometry from a 6-fold geometry? But we're going to do it. Okay, we got this. We got 3 slices. Looking good? Okay, I still see some heads down. I don't want to rush it. Okay, all right, great. Okay, I think I did all of these in one step, so just break it down here. All right, so start with the horizontal that goes through D and E, right? It goes this horizontal one at the top, it goes through D and E, and then you're going to extend it all the way to the perimeter of the circle. So D and E on the horizontal axis, and then it's kind of the same step. We're making like a triangle, and you're going to make a line cutting through on the left diagonal, cutting through D and F. I can do this kind of thing at the 7th class because y'all can just find it. And then on the right diagonal, you're going to have a line connecting E and F and extending all the way out to the perimeter of the circle. Yeah, I don't understand it. I will share another mystery with you once we get to the other side of this. All right, everybody got their 9 segments. If you would like, you can draw the straight lines on the outside. That makes the polygon, right? You do not need to do that. All we need are the 9 points, right? We're going to do the nonograms. We're going to do the stars. Let me see, did I do it this way? Yeah. So if you want to draw the lines, spectacular. I don't think they're not usually included in the stars. So your choice. What we need are those 9 points. So go ahead and darken them in on the circle, right? It's just those intersection points. And then this is the totally gnarly time of erasing everything we just did. Oh God, I know. I'm sorry. So you want, I'm so sorry. Erase the whole inside. Now, I feel like we definitely could just use a protractor, but since we're looking at the larger patterns of 3, 6, and 9 and the relationship of everything, now you've seen how 9 is based in 6 and also 3. This is one way of seeing it. And so looks like I did draw the polygon. Yeah, you can draw the polygon, you can leave it out. You can leave the circle, you can erase the circle. We're really just going to be working with the points. Huh. And it's a nice and easy like full erase in there. It's not, you don't have to keep any of the lines like with the tesseract. Once you have that erased, don't let me rush you. You're going to label those points clockwise, A, down and around through I.
Will it be totally too messy if we don't erase?
Yes, I think so. However, what we're going to do is we're going to use those as that trick of puncture points and templates. So if you want to puncture the points now onto the next page, God, this is a new strategy. I'm sorry, I'm just incorporating so that you don't have to erase. Oh, I'm doing great tonight. Yep, all we're going to use are the points. If you don't want to erase it, even though this is after the fact, this is a new strategy that someone taught me, that you can puncture the points before we've erased it. Like you don't have to use this one as the first shape, but that I'm slowly adjusting to that new technique. So for tonight, we have erased the flower of life for many of us, but we're going to be able to draw on this shape. And then Greta, if you want to keep this shape, just use the puncture points and you'll be using one more piece of paper. Fortunately, you can all draw another flower of life at some point, so it'll be okay. Not all is lost.
Yeah.
Okay, so who has erased? Does everybody but Greta erased? Okay. All right, Leon's still erasing, Rico's erasing. Okay.
So all we need is just the outer line.
All the 9 points. Yeah. Yeah.
It is a really handy.
What is it? What is that? Oh, the tracing paper. Yeah.
Then I don't need to erase it.
Nice. Yeah. Or you can puncture through to the bottom pages to the pieces beneath you. I
had too many puncture points. Just go ahead.
Okay.
I'll catch them. I do the puncture points. I like it, but
Yep. So many good ways to do it. Joni, did you erase? I saw you with your clicker eraser.
Yeah, I erase. I love this like extension eraser. It is interminable, and it works well for a big, massive erase like that. So,
oh, that's great.
Then I have these super cool ones that I didn't even know existed until you said get a fine point eraser. These little tiny ones.
Yep, the Tombow, fabulous.
It's changed my life.
It does. It changes your life. And I've now started saying on the, when people are, I love the Tombow. Yeah. When people are, like when we're starting up a class, I used to just say, hey, get an eraser. And now I say, get a block and a fine tip, because it just opens up worlds to, especially for the geometry, you know?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, okay, Leanne, it looks like you're good. You got the 9 points. And Greta, you're working on the next page. Rico's got.
I'm close. Go ahead.
All right. And then Rico's got.
Go for it.
Okay. So is everybody given assigned letters to the 9 points? And it's oh my gosh. Hang on a second. So A at the top And it's just, it's like 10 after 12. So it shouldn't be directly vertical. So A down and around through I up at the top. All right. And now we're going to make the obtuse nonagon. So let's see. I believe that we start and ends at, yeah. So starting at A, going down to C, just very much, similar to the heptagon, and same as this is another closed geometry, right? Where you start at A and you're going to end. Is that true? It's kind of blowing my mind right now. Yeah. This is a very complex closed geometry. So you start at A, moving down, skipping every other letter. So yeah, right. Some days are just a jumble and you just have to go with it. So A to C and C to E to G. Yeah, this and the heptagon with this obtuse, like both this nonagon, right? Sorry, nonagram, this polygram, right? 9 folds, nonagram. There's also the enneagram we're going to look at, but that's its own thing because they use the geometry in a different way. So I actually would like to really distinguish. Right? Is everybody getting this one? I don't think I showed us the enneagram part. Yeah. Okay. A to C, C to E. How's it going, Greta? You look a little exasperated. What happened?
It's not working, but I can't figure out quite why. I went A to C, C to
E.
C. I went C, yeah, and then I went E to G, and then G. When I go G to I, it doesn't connect me back up to anything.
Well, you're gonna go I to B. You're gonna keep going.
Okay, I'm good then. I'm golden.
Golden. All right. So you've got
All
the
right.
obtuse nonagram.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. Let me see.
Well,
All right.
I have 4 lines to draw, but I'm, it'll work out.
Well, I'll keep it up then, and then we'll come out and we'll look at our nonograms. So we could also do that, that tracing meditation with this because it's a closed geometry that starts and stops at the same point, which is its own kind of mystery. God, there is so much to this, and I'm happy that we at least get to glimpse the magic.
I've got it.
Great. All right. So can we see thoughts and reflections before we go on? All right, Greta, hang on. Let me spotlight you. It's so fun to see everybody's drawings. Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't look like you did anything off.
Nope,
Ooh.
I got it.
Nice. What do you think?
It's fun. It's fun to have it work out. Like, go figure.
Yep. I know there's a precision and a completion and a predictability, and the geometry just keeps coming through. All right. Reiko, how'd it go? You're off mute. We'll go for you. Oh yeah. So you used the tracing paper. So you made the points from that.
Yeah, because
right?
I still have this.
Okay, yeah. Oh, brilliant. Love it. All right. What do you think?
Let's go. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
I really see this nice and clear because since I have just only eraser, if I erase this one, it will mess up everything.
It's true. It's true. Erasing is not that tidy process. So that's a great. Thank you. I don't ever use the tracing paper. I really appreciate that.
It's really useful because you don't need to back and forth and like when you mess up, just toss it and
that's great.
Yeah, because when you do this kind of complicated things and once you erase the line, I have to do it again, which I'm not.
All right. Yep. Good tip. I used to use graph paper, but that was the only other deviation. All right, thanks. Let's see. Joni, Leanne, how's it going?
I'm good.
Good.
I did
Oh, hang
better.
on, Leanne. Let's Joni jumped in first. Hang on one second. All right.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Wait.
Oh,
who's gone?
showing.
All right, Leanne, hang on one second.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say that I did better on this than the hepta.
Okay. Right. It
Now I'm
gets familiar. It gets sort of familiar somewhat, even though it's different. All right. We got you now. Yeah. What do you think? Oh, muted. All right. There it is.
I like all these helpful hints I'm hearing from everybody because mine's
Mhm.
always, I'm kind of, like Pigpen on Peanuts. I'm always, I'm messy, but that might be just me. So that's
Mm-mm.
okay. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but it's true.
Well, the imperfection, the messy, right? The erasing and the start and the stop point, the incomplete, the complete, like there's just so many take
Yeah.
homes, the meta process messages. So, but you had the circle and the
I got it.
nonagon and the nonagram. You've got all three in that one. It's cool. Very cool. Okay. We've got that one. I want to show you the Enneagram piece, which I left off. Thank goodness I don't close these out anymore. And then we'll do two more formations, right? So this is the Enneagram. Do people, is everyone familiar with the Enneagram? The personality, okay. So the Enneagram is kind of like is it the MMPI, the personality inventory, right? Where you're codifying all of your defense strategies, your character construct, and it's a way to interpret your behaviors, your emotional interpretation and your emotional lens and your cognitive lens. So it's the Enneagram, and you fall into any number of 9 categories that determine, who you are and how you move in the world. And then it also talks about how you can you attract yourself to other numbers, right? Certain numbers pair well together. And so it's a really interesting cosmology in terms of understanding our personalities and our motivations. And if you haven't looked into it, I highly recommend it. But I don't use it. We don't draw it because they didn't use they made it their own thing. It's the logo. And so it's called an Enneagram, right? Because that's the school of thought. But that geometry is not actually called an Enneagram. They missed the mark on that. So we're doing 9-fold stars, but I won't call them Enneagrams because they use the word differently. So what we're drawing are nonograms, which is not as cool of a word. That's the way. That's part of why we're saying we're using a specific language. But if you don't know about the Enneagram, have a look. And we're going to draw the more acute star now, right? We're going to do the acute nonagram. So if you punctured through and you have another piece of paper, another template on the next paper, great. If you haven't punctured through yet, go ahead and use those 9 points on the next piece of paper. And we'll just keep using this template rather than needing to draw the flower of life 3 different times. It's a handy technique, or your tracing paper. I think the other thing is I don't want to keep asking people to get supplies. I just want it to be sort of basic, but I can at least tip people off now to the usefulness of that technique. All right, so got those 9 points. Going to exit out of my PowerPoint. Oh, and this is a fun thing. If you want to take a peek, I'll just show you this. This is a nonagram, right? This is a 9-fold geometry. So all the cool stuff you can do with this. Right. 10, or is that 10? When did I do that? 2. I think it might be a decagon. That's a decagon. What else can I mess up on today? Let's just keep it all on. I think I've got it. I'm going strong here. This is at least What do I have? I think this is at least a 5-fold of like glitches and things that I'm saying and things that I thought made sense. Nothing makes sense today. So we got our templates. We got the next paper with the nine points. Great. Let's do that. Here we go. All right. So again, A through I, give it a nice lettering so that we can reference. All right. So that's what we've got there. And now to do the next shape. This one is an open geometry, and it always feels a little antithetical to me, or like this seems like it should be closed, and the other one seems like it should be open. Basically, this is 3 triangles overlapping each other, right? So you're going to connect A, D, and G, and back up to A, right? So you've got a triangle that starts, that is facing upward to the right, and then you're going to connect I, C, and F back up to I, right? And that's the second triangle, and then H, B, and E are the third triangle. And this gets you back to 3, 6, and 9. Oh boy, am I going to get it? 3, 6, and 9, 2, 2, 4, and 7, and then 1, 2, and it's hard for me to do without seeing it. I can't see it from me. So 3, 6, and 9, 1, 2, 2, 5, and 8. Right. These are the 3 triangles, and they are open, and they don't start and stop at the same point. Right. So that's its own fun star. And then I think we're going to do, yeah, we're going to do the last one, which we will recognize. So this is the second kind of nonagon. And then once you've got this, I don't want to rush you, but we're going to do the third kind with a similar template, right? We're just going to puncture through and make 9 points on the next page. But take your time with it. I think this one is also fun with color and choosing the different color palettes on how to work with that. Sure, there's some kind of no, I'm not sure. I don't think there's an external influence. I think I'm probably just a little scrambled. You know, happens to the best of us.
Then
all right, so we,
you circle around.
You can draw the circle. I have it, but you don't have to draw the circle. I just happen to have it. Yeah, however you like it. I think the stars are kind of fun in of themselves. I think this was when I originally drew it. I was just drawing the circle as well.
Does anybody remember spirograph?
Yes, how could we forget?
So that's this whole time, all I can think of is spirograph as we poke through this. And now I might take another look at how things are set up on spirograph. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, way before, back before we knew graphic design for the average bear, you know. Because it kept coming up and everybody loves the spirograph, I went and I either got one or I had a friend who had one. And I love it, but I also get so frustrated with it because every little disc has like 36 holes. And I can't ever go back and recreate the pattern that I found that I like. And I was like, oh, I'm out. I want to do it from scratch. I want to know where I stopped and started because it's just like, and
it
like,
always pops out too, so you get messed up. Yep.
It's just like the problem with infinity. You know, because you find one and it's so pretty, and then you're like, how did I do that?
What is it? I never seen it.
Spirograph.
I'll send it to you, Rick. I'll put it in a link. It's a children's toy.
It's like
but
that.
now it takes
No,
it takes.
You can get them about $14, and they're just fun. You do designs with circles. They're really fun.
Oh, like that? No.
Well, no, they have different colored pens, and you'll look at it. They'll work it.
It's got wheels and circles, and
Yeah,
then you
it's
stick
like-
your pen in a hole, and then
Yeah,
things.
got it. Okay, now I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're super fun. And
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are right. That reminds me of this. I got it.
yep. Okay, so last template, we've got open page, blank slate with 9 points on it, and we're going to do A through I again. Last time we're going to get the acute nonogram, and you are just connecting. Ooh, that got big, right?
Last piece of paper.
Yeah. Last piece of paper. Oh, all right. So then, looks like I didn't write out the sequence. Looks like I need to go back to the nonagon. It's been a little time here, so I'll go back. So if you label them again, A through I, this time you're gonna skip you're gonna skip 3 letters, and then it's the 4th one that you connect. So A, you're gonna skip B, C, and D, and you're gonna go A down to E. How did I not write this out? I know I have this written out. That seems a little bizarre. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. So A at the top right, and then you're gonna go down, you're gonna skip B, C, and D, and then so your line will go from down to E. And it'll get intuitive after a minute, right? You'll recognize the pattern, and then B is going to go up to I. I'm sorry, D, A, B, C, D. Dear God, E. How about if I stop talking? Leon, you want to take over? Just go for it. You remember.
So A to E.
Yes, somewhere you have them all listed on something else.
I do. I'm telling you. I'm just.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening right now. So A down to E. All right. And then E is going to go up to, right up top to I. Right. A, B, C, D. And then you're going to come from I down to D. And then that's going to be D up to H. And then you'll come over H down to C. And then that should be C over to G. Even more helpful, I don't have the letters on here. I'm in some sort of like weirdo glitch state here.
If you just start with the first line and then just move your ruler around, it just goes totally the way it's supposed to.
Yep.
And it's really fun. I mean, it's like,
so it's just
then
like a
you're done.
solid pivot. Yep, exactly. Lots of ways to do it. And then
Yeah.
once you've got to this point and you've got that general skinny shape, that tiny skinny triangle, you'll just see it begin to repeat itself, and it'll guide you towards the full star. Thank God you're here, Leon. Otherwise I'd be losing my mind. I know, like I would not have this here. You know what? Sometimes I do an updated version. Maybe I just like pulled an old version or something. Hang on, let me just peek.
It's okay. Just let it go.
No. Anyone saying no? I think that this is just it, but I know that I have the letters on there, so yeah.
I have it in one of the things you sent.
All right. Well, let's just
So
assume
you're
that
not
you do.
losing your mind.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll just leave it like I do. We're not gonna go looking because oh my God. Oh, seriously. It's one solid glitch class. That's fine. We all have our glitches. So it's Wednesday, it's November or something, and it's 2023. I have, what planets are in what houses, or if there's, solar flares. I don't know. Or if it's just me and I'm way off. So there's that. Did everybody get it? We got the stars. All right. Anybody, we're not going to do the meditation where we do the closed geometry and starting and stopping, but this one is a little bit, if you do that, if you give yourself a minute to just trace it, this one is like what we did before, kind of next level. It just really sort of scrambles and takes the left brain out of, and you get a little bit more of an opening with receptivity and seeing what comes through with that creative process. What do y'all think? Do you have a preference? Do you like any of them more so, less so? How's it seem?
So before we did the second one, I decided I wanted to make the connections to skip points. Instead of skipping from A to C, I skipped on A to D.
Okay.
And then when I saw you were going, so then I just went ahead and did the whole thing.
Hang on.
So that's all of them superimposed or not.
Okay, don't go anywhere. That's so awesome.
Wow.
So
the little triangles though make it really apparent how imperfect it is, but like in the center circle. But it's still fun.
So that's the combination of the obtuse and the acute. Those are the two stars that we just did.
All three of them.
All three of them.
First, not nonagon or gram, and then so the one where it was A to C.
Can we see it one more time?
Yeah, you bet. And then I skipped 2 points, and then I skipped 3 points, just as we did on each of the subsequent drawings from the Nonagon.
Right. Because it's kind of like, back in the first class when we did the dodecagon, right, which was the 12-pointed star. It has that, it looks similar to that as well.
I can do it. Since I have a tracing paper.
Same. Yes.
Oh,
you did
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Really easy.
Fun.
Take up one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. This is so great. Y'all taking it to the next level. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greta, you want to jump in? What do you got?
Well, I did them all separately, but when I looked at the ones where they were together, it was like the first week where we drew a point to each of the other points.
Yeah.
And that really is the bottom line.
Yep. Right. Because it's all of them, all of the polygons, all of the polygrams for the ninefolds on it, at one time. And it looks like that 12-pointed star that we did. And but that's just a new way to do it. I honestly not seen the tracing paper, not seen anyone do all of them at once. It's always just a new experience, and I love seeing what you guys have done. It's brilliant. Leanne, how's it going? What do you think? Any reflections, observations?
Good. I just kept it to the basic because I had to grow my wings a little bit because I didn't have my directions. So yeah.
Hang on, let me.
Nothing too.
Oh, beautiful.
So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I love that. Had to grow your wings a little bit because you didn't have the letters. That's so great. Yeah. It's all in how you want to use it, right? Is it just like this is a conundrum I can't get past, or am I just gonna sort of stretch myself and do it? Oh, y'all are fabulous. All right, so those are the ninefold geometries. Obviously there is a ton more. Anybody have any other thoughts or reflections before we close out the evening? Must be the magic of the nines glitching things up here.
What are we doing next week out of curiosity?
Next week we are doing here, I'll do this a really fun way. Hang on, it's the shape is right here. I'm going to get it for you so you can actually see it versus me just saying it. And then I'll show you also, I'll open up a slide. So we're gonna draw this. So we're gonna draw both, and Rieko had it on her paper. We're gonna draw, so the 2D is gonna look like this. Well, this is the 3D. We're gonna draw that one, and here I'll show you. We're gonna draw both of them, and let me see. Here we go. All right, I'm coming. All right, here we go. Ranger. These two. We're gonna draw these. That's probably a better way to do it. So we'll draw the 3D one on the right, and then we'll also draw the 2D one on the left. And it looks like a lot, but it's so doable. Believe me, I wouldn't promise anything that we couldn't do. So, Reiko, how was it when you did the 3D one? How'd you get that done? By the way.
Same thing. I think
Oh, you traced it, of course.
Of course.
Gotcha. Now it all makes sense. Very, very doable. When the you don't have to.
Really easy.
Yeah, you don't have to know the theory behind it. You can just trace. I love it. Okay, so that's what we're doing next week, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of time for reflection as well, because we're not going to have too much information on that. We're just going to go right into drawing. So any kind of reflections from the whole 8 weeks, since it has been 2 months since we started, and I'm just so appreciative to all of you for this time, and so I look forward. Hopefully we can get everyone who started with us on the call on next Wednesday, but otherwise, we're all connected, and we can say bon voyage in a good way with whoever's able to make it.
I have to admit in advance that I will have to miss at least the first portion of it. I'm taking my son to interview a school for his next stage of education. So it's an open house that I got to go to.
I'm so glad to know that. Yeah, thank you. No, that's great to know. And I'll put out just a little reminder, maybe, kind of a special if people can make it for the last class. And also, life is life. And
I thought I did really well to make it all 7 weeks so far, the whole time.
My gosh, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And next week isn't Thanksgiving. It's the week after that, right? So yeah, because it would be absurd to think that anybody would make it the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. All right. But Joni, yes, well done. Well done to all of us. And God, we're doing a good job.
Did you get your donuts, by the way? Did you get any donuts? That's what I was most curious
about.
No,
it was so funny because I don't even eat donuts anymore, but somewhere symbolically in my psyche, it's like, yes, that's a treat that I deserve. I've moved on to these strange healthy snacks now that that make me happy, but they are a token representation of no donuts. All right, so thanks for letting us know that you'll be late, though. Or if you make it, I mean, those things can be consuming, and you get caught up with talking with people, so no worries.
I look forward to the recording if I cannot, but yeah, you're right, exactly, that it's at 5:30, and just to, how it's gonna go.
I do. So Rieko.
Oh, before we close up, can you see the special eraser? I don't.
Oh, my erasers?
Oh yeah, she's got the one.
So those are called, and you even called the name out. So this is very tiny, and it has like a little, and it gets bigger and bigger. And then I found another one that came with it. It's like a rectangular shape. Same thing. The brand is
it's a nice one.
Combo, and it's Mono Zero. Okay. I can send you a link if you like. Amazon everything.
Thank you.
I haven't seen the square one. That's fun.
Yeah, that was a fun find. It was accidental, in fact. And then it comes with refills and stuff. So I'll send a link right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you bet.
And then you've also got kind of the standard clicky pen. Hang on, Grant, I'm coming. because the clicky pen, eraser, you can get at Staples. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did it all.
nice. You've got one more.
That's a spot on.
Oh yeah, I've got one more.
One more.
One more line.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've got,
Yeah.
oh shoot. Well, anyway.
Beautiful though. I like them. I like them
Okay.
transposed. I've never seen that before. You guys are the
I-
class of
I-
nines. What's that?
I had 2 more lines, but
2 more lines. Do you want to hold it up and we'll have a completion here now with the 2 lines? Yeah, let's do that.
crazy.
Oh, beautiful. God, the symmetry is so good, even though it's 9, right?
Yeah,
So interesting.
great.
Yep. And we got the 9 out of 6. So amazing.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you all so much. Thanks for hanging in there through all the glitches, and hope to see you next time. If we don't, also lovely to have been with everybody the whole time, and oh my goodness. Let's take a nice deep breath together. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. It's been lovely.
you.
Take
Thank
care. Have
you.
a great week.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.